Women and makeup. As you'll see, I have none on. I'm like, what was I doing, honestly? Maybe you can be as happy as me. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. How's everyone doing? Are we all happy? This week I'm going to be talking about women and makeup. Kind of my story with makeup as a whole, and just, yeah, having a bit of a chat about just the pressures to wear it and kind of how that's personally affected my life and all these kind of things. And as you'll see, I have none on, purposely. If you had told me like even 2 or 3 years ago that I would be like on camera doing a video with no makeup on, I genuinely wouldn't have believed you. And so I think I've had kind of this personal journey with makeup that I want to share and I want to talk about, and I'm really actually proud of myself. So let's get right in. Basically, like, I started wearing makeup when I was 12. Like, it's crazy to think. Oh my god, literally I remember my graduation present from primary school, which is a joke in itself that I had a graduation present from primary school. But it was, we went into Brent Thomas in Ireland, in Cork, and I bought a Benefit, like, blusher type thing, like super, called Georgia, for those of you who remember. Very, very non-offensive, but still, you know, and I was 12, you know, and I was like so excited, or at least I thought I should be or something. I feel like I never really had this kind of natural inclination towards makeup, but it was always a thing that I thought I should wear, which has kind of been the theme of my journey with makeup this whole time. Then basically, yeah, I mean, you know, since 13, 14, 15, I would be wearing, you know, a full face of makeup to school, which was just crazy. Like, oh my god, like the amount of time I would spend putting it on. Like, and we lived far away, so I would, like, you know, get up, get dressed, but then I would do my makeup in the car because the journey was like 40 minutes. And I would do that every morning, and I would bring my makeup bag with me in the car, and I would do it, and like, God forbid I didn't put any on, you know, for secondary school, you know. It's oh, I look back and I'm like, what was I doing, honestly? And like, I don't judge myself, because I'm like, I was, you know, there were several reasons why I was doing that, and I didn't know any better, and I was younger and all that stuff. But I'm just like, I look back and I'm like, I wasted so much time. First of all, so much time putting it on, but then also so much time feeling like I needed to put it on and feeling insecure and just like, oh, chronic. And then towards, like, yeah, when we kind of had exams and stuff, I braved going into school with no makeup on. And bear in mind now, this was an all-girls school, there was no boys, so I didn't even have that excuse. Like, there was no need for what I was doing. Not that that's even a good excuse, but like, you know, it would explain in some way, shape or form why I might be doing this. But no, all-girls school. So yeah, so I came to kind of exam time, and I would kind of start maybe coming into school with no makeup on and stuff. Or there were times when I was in like the pantomime, I never know. So I would come into school with no makeup on, because I'd have to like put on the makeup later on for the show. And there were several times, and this happened to me and my friends, there were several times where the teachers were like, Lauren, are you sick? And I'd just be like, no, I'm fine. And I'd be like, no, like, you don't look great, like, are you okay? And I'd be like, and then I'd cop why they were saying that, and I'd just be like, no, I just have no makeup on, that's why you think I look sick. And like, this happened a good 3 or 4 times with like different teachers in different situations. And after like the first, second time they'd say it, and I'd just be like, no, I just have no makeup on. And they'd be like, no, like, you really look bad. I'm like, no, I just have no makeup on, that's it, I feel perfectly fine, thank you very much. And like, oh my god, so, like, looking back, I don't even know what to make of that situation. I'm like, do I get embarrassed? Do I laugh? Like, what happens? Like, oh, I don't know. Then as well, there would be, so as most people will know, in Ireland we have like half days on Wednesdays in secondary schools. And looking back, we'd finish at maybe 1 o'clock or something, and we'd stay in school until about 1:30, 1:30, and we'd basically be doing our makeup, because we'd be going down to town to meet the boys. And oh, again, looking back, I'm like, what were we doing, you know? Like, I literally didn't even want to be doing that. I didn't want to be there. I'd literally be standing there awkwardly, like, pretending to put on makeup, but I didn't actually care, because one, I would have had it on since that morning anyway, and I was never the kind of person that would like reapply throughout the day. It just wasn't my vibe. So I would just be standing there like pretending to put it back on. Like, do you know when you're just young and you're like, why did I do that? I don't know. Oh, makes me cringe. But yeah, that happened then. Like, so again, so much time just wasted. Then when I was about 17, my skin started getting really bad, randomly out of nowhere. I have no idea. I had quite good skin up until then, and then just when I was 17, it just got really, really bad. So it was really, actually really bad for a couple of years. It didn't help that I was constantly at it myself, But it was really, really bad. And so I got to the stage where I would literally just be wearing makeup just to cover up my spots. Like literally that was it. There wasn't that like, oh, I really want to put on makeup today. It was purely to cover up my spots. And I remember again, like my exams finishing secondary school, my skin was so bad and I maybe like wouldn't have it on, and I would see people like, I remember one specific example where I was talking to a guy, and just a friend, and he was talking to me, but I had obviously like a load of spots right here, and he was just like looking here. It was like he was looking there. Instead of like my face, he was looking there. And I was just like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Like it was so bad. So for years I literally would just cake it on, literally just to cover up my skin because I was so embarrassed. And that's just not why you should put it on, you know what I mean? And like I remember feeling like super grateful that I even had this opportunity. And I know a lot of lads, if they did that, they'd be absolutely ridiculed, you know. So it was nice to be able to cover up the bad skin. But it's just so sad that I was putting it on purely just out of insecurity and not because I wanted to at all. I really didn't. Like then that continued out throughout college, and I would spend about 25 minutes every morning. And after like kind of I think it was the summer of second year of college, it was summertime, so I had a little bit of a tan, so I wasn't wearing as much makeup, which was shocking for me because I would wear full face all the time. And I started really kind of adding up the time that I spent. I was kind of like, okay, if I do 20 minutes every day of putting on makeup, multiply that by 7 days a week, multiply that by 50 to 53 weeks in a year, like it's a lot of time. Oh, and like, I'm not even going to do the math now because I would just be like horrified. But it's just crazy. Fair enough if you want to, but like I didn't want to. I was doing it literally because I thought I should, or my skin was bad so I wanted to cover it up. Like it's just really sad. And it was funny, like I think a lot of girls have this thing where if they don't wear makeup, they think people don't recognize them or something. So I would like say have this thing. I would go into college, say with no makeup on, very rarely, but say if it would happen, I would literally snob people because I would think that they won't recognize me because I have no makeup on. So I just won't even look at them because I'd be like, if I do say hi, they're gonna be like, who is this random person saying hi to me? But it's their friend Lauren. But I'd be like, they don't recognize me because I have no makeup on. And like, you know, we think we look so different. But like, I kind of hate it as well when people are like, oh no, you look the same. And it's like, well, the whole point of makeup is to look different. Don't try and make me feel better by being like, no, you look the same. It's like, the whole point is to look different with makeup on. So I'm fine with not looking the same with makeup on. Like, don't, like, are you trying to make me feel better but in like making me sad kind of way? I don't know, you know. Oh, weird. And then basically, yeah, so I kind of had my kind of epiphany moment maybe somewhere in second year college, but I still kind of continued to wear it. And then basically what happened was I moved to the Netherlands for my master's, and the majority of women there just don't really wear makeup. It's just not a thing. Or they might wear like super natural makeup, like, oh, I mean, most of their skin is just perfection, like they don't have one spot between them. And so like I would literally show up to class and I would be caked in makeup, and I would actually be mortified because I would be looking around the room and I'd be the only one, and it seemed weird because it looked like I was going out, like I was going out clubbing or something. And like if you're in Ireland that's totally normal, so I didn't feel like I stood out. But then I went to the Netherlands and like nobody was wearing it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. And I think like why I was so embarrassed is because it was very obvious that I was wearing it because I was insecure, you know, or at least it was to me. Maybe no one else noticed, but I was embarrassed because I was like, I'm not doing this because I want to do this. I'm doing this because I'm covering up my skin. And so really that year, it's not like I essentially stopped straight away, but it definitely changed my mentality and my attitude towards makeup. I now saw that it wasn't a necessity, that it was possible to go about your daily life and your work not wearing it. I think, you know, even if I didn't wear it to college, I would have worn it to like work because I worked over there, and I felt like there was kind of some difference there. But even people in work weren't wearing makeup, and it really shocked me, and it really changed my attitude. And it's something I will forever be grateful for, because if I hadn't had that experience, I probably would still be caked in makeup right now. So then basically, I remember towards the end of my master's, I had no makeup on one day and I looked in the mirror and I had this slight feeling in me that I saw my skin, my natural skin. I saw it and I kind of liked what I saw. Or like I kind of had this slight feeling that I liked the natural look, but I like wouldn't let myself feel it. I was like, oh no, that's so wrong, you know. It's the same sometimes when I like my body. I'm like, oh no, I'm used to hating that for so long. So God, my brain is not knowing how to function when you get this feeling that you might like it. Actually, it's so sad, honestly. It's really upsetting. So yeah, I just had this kind of this moment with makeup, and then that summer I moved home and I started a new job, and I made a point of, I was like, well, you know, I can go into work on my first day, caked in makeup to make a good impression, and then I can come in the second day with none on and have everyone be like, who is your one? Or I can just go straight in first day, no makeup on, set the bar, this is my natural face, this should be good enough, and take it from there. And I did. I went into my new job wearing no makeup, and I hardly ever did. And I was shocked at myself. I was so impressed at myself. And yeah, it felt so good. And like, the thing is, it was a call centre, so I was like, okay, maybe I can afford to be a bit more casual. But even then, when I moved to work in the European Parliament, I was like, no, I'm not changing myself for just because I'm moving somewhere maybe a bit fancier. I'm continuing to not wear makeup because I don't want to wear makeup, because I feel good enough without it, you know. And it's shocking. And I had another moment then as well, kind of a few months later, again looking in the mirror, and I genuinely liked the look of my skin with no makeup on. Like, it sounds so simple to people who haven't had that, but when you literally spend years covering up your natural skin with something else and not actually seeing your natural skin on a day-to-day basis, is quite like mind-boggling. It's kind of, it's weird, like. And so then when I had those 2 moments of me actually liking my skin, it was shocking, and I'm so happy, you know. It did take me a while. It wasn't like I just, you know, stopped wearing makeup and was like confident all of a sudden. Absolutely not. I still have moments where I'm like, oh my god, my skin isn't great now, or I'm really pale, or, you know, even now I'm like, oh, I'm wow. But I'm still doing it, you know, because it's worth it to me. I love not wearing makeup now, and it just feels natural, and I feel most myself. I feel like when I have a full face of makeup on, I have to kind of be this certain person, or people think I'm this certain person, so then I act out that role or something, and it's really kind of a bit of a mind fuck. And I just feel like I can be my total self when I'm free, and I can touch my face, and I'm a lot less uptight because I'm not like, oh my god, my makeup, watch my makeup, you know. And it's amazing, and it's great, and I'm just so happy that I'm now at this stage in my life. You know, at 26, I feel like I'm, and this kind of started happening when I was 23, 24, and I'm really happy that I now don't cover up my skin anymore. And I just like, I'm like, I deserve that, and I deserve to be happy, and I deserve to feel secure, and I deserve, you know, for people not to think I'm sloppy when I don't wear it. You know, I think there's definitely this notion that, oh, you haven't made a full effort. And it's like, why is making a full effort covering up my skin? Like, why can't I just wake up, say, you know, do my cleanse, do my moisturiser, do my normal skin bits, and then be ready to go? Like, why is it that I have to do this extra step of literally covering up my natural skin but to be not sloppy and to be ready? And I think obviously, you know, the reason this is a feminist issue is because men are not expected to wear makeup, and they're not told they should cover up their skin. And yeah, it's kind of been this like personal journey, but also feminist journey, and I'm just like, yeah, like, don't wear makeup if you don't want to. I think for me, I knew I didn't want to, so I was angry at myself. But like, if you did want to, if you were doing it because it's art and it's like 100% a creative outlet, fabulous, and you genuinely want to, go do it. But for me, I know I was doing it because I was insecure, and that's not a good enough reason for me. So I am so happy. And as I said, like, you know, if you had told me a couple of years ago that I would be here making a video for everyone to see with no makeup on, I honestly wouldn't have believed you. So I am so proud of myself for getting to this stage. And I know it may not seem like a big deal to anybody else, but it's huge for me, and I'm just so happy. And I love my natural skin now, and I just feel 100% myself when I'm like this, and it's amazing. And if there's anyone watching who is in the same boat, just know that it's okay to not wear makeup and to have your natural face on show, and it's perfectly fine. And anyone who has a problem with it, bye bye. Honestly, you know, it's your face, it's your skin, and you should be allowed to do whatever you want with it. And yeah, maybe you can be as happy as me. So that's my video, literally just me chatting about my journey, makeup, very simple. Hope you all watch. Don't forget to like and comment or like my page, the whole works, and have a lovely week. And yeah, YOLO, bye.